What it do, flight crew? Somebody on Instagram requested me to say that and then try that as an actual catchphrase in the beginning. I forgot who requested that, but shout out to you. She calls my name, and normally I just say here. I don't know why. I went like this. Presents, like out loud. I don't know why, but I said it in that tone of voice, and I'm just like, what did I just do? And everybody in the class like was dying, dog. I'm talking about, bro. I heard some people was screaming, like somebody told me they was in tears. I made their day and shit. I wasn't even trying to be funny. Like I just said present, like how they said back in like 1775. And then she goes like, "Come on, step outside." Fuck. Then she asked me, "What did you do before you got to class?" And I'm just like, I just want to cry in the inside, man. I don't know what to do at this point. She goes like, "Do not lie to me." And I was just like, "All right, miss, yes, but and listen, this is I always have the backup plan." I was like, "Miss, it's 6th period. We're about to get off of school. We had 7 periods. And I'm not trying to cause no trouble at all. I just come into class real quickly, cuts me off in a second. Did you study for the quiz today?" I forgot that we had a quiz on that day. If I get a 60 or higher, she's not gonna call my mom. If I get an F, she's gonna call my mom right after. She said I was gonna be the first one out of 35 degrees.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I got a 78. I didn't get anything higher than a 75. That was my highest test score on a math quiz or test that year. We gotta backtrack all the way to 12th grade, okay? Now, I'm just gonna cut the BS, okay? We gotta just get onto this junk because this shit is something special. I'm not even gonna lie to you, like I was broke, you know, I was doing whatever to just trying to find and get money, you know, whether if it was the right way, wrong way, and it's just like, bruh, I just needed to just really get something that I can, you know, rely on at the time. Obviously my first time doing tree, but it was just, it's just something that just came to me. It was almost like it was meant to be, bro. Like, what the fuck? I left the crib that day, okay? Mind you, I didn't intend to, you know, turn up before work. I don't remember what day of the week this was or what. Okay? Going to Steak and Shake, okay? Not the second job. The second job I only worked like 1 time a week. So that's why I didn't want to really get into detail because it didn't really affect. Because I actually ended up leaving it like I just said. Okay? Hopefully this, you know, it's making sense to you guys. Making sure, you know, the team is getting the scripture. Because before I was always on, you know, either Dutchess or papers. I still don't even, you know what I'm saying? He gave me that shit and he was just like, "You know what this is?" I was just like, "Nah, it looks like a bong." But I have knowledge of it. I knew what it is. That's exactly how my facial expression was. That was fucking perfect, yo. Holy shit, I didn't mean to do that shit. Somebody told me back in the day, you never turn down, you know what I'm saying, free smoke sesh, because it's like turning down a free meal. So I was just like, man, I don't know. And he was just like, "Oh, you wimping out now." And I was just like, "Yeah, I gotta be to work." Because I had half my uniform on, right? So I had my white, it was like a white tee. I'm talking about motherfuck, bro. I don't know, it's because I have a low tolerance. One little nug in that bitch, bro. Okay, he puts it in the thing, and then he gets a lighter. You know what I'm saying? Do my thing. I took 2 hits, bro. Okay, and I'm not really feeling anything. Okay, I get back to my car, and he ends up like leaving the scene now. All right, I had to be in work about 25 minutes. Start strolling down, come to a stop sign. Bam! In another world. On my phone. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know, for you people that do, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be no influence, bro. I just want you guys to learn from my experience. Whoa. I'm just like, bro, I'm way too fucking, like, yeah, I was even trying to. Okay? It takes about 10 minutes to get to work. I like, what the fuck? Like, I was kind of about to nudge him. He grabs me and he goes like, "Turn around, man." Dude, you are stoned. Just say it out loud. Why? He goes like, so he wants to fucking get all smart with the lady in the, I don't know if he was trying to impress her, trying to get something higher or what he says. He goes like,
"Mr. Kimani, you do anything before work today, buddy?"
And he just has like something like squeezing in his hand, and it's like red, and I'm looking at this shit, and he fucking like puts his finger in it and opens like something up. It's a fucking Ronald McDonald clown nose, and he fucking goes like,
"You want to put this on for the rest of the time you work here? You're nothing but a straight clown."
And she's just fucking like sitting there laughing, like both of them are fucking laughing. I'm like, what the? I don't know if it was caused by the paranoia. Maybe it was both. Maybe it was something else. I eventually later on in the year ended up losing my virginity the proper way. Ooh, the kid is already sweating bullets from the forehead. Possibly the most firest out of firest stories next to the original losing of virginity before I get everybody coming at me like, hey, Flight, you already did this before. You had this on your channel. Hey, you have 2 channels, Flight. Damn, how much money do you want from us? Just point the fingers at me because I'm the bad guy.
Really, nigga?
I was close to going crazy, son. Okay, and so 12th grade comes along, and I was actually talking with this girl, and we was pretty much going out, okay? And you know, people was calling us, you know, boyfriend, girlfriend, but this wasn't the girl I was actually going to smash. I told you, like, I was a little player, bro. Like, smash, okay? Dominican, that is my second, right behind the light skin. And 3 minutes after I leave from the bus, walking home, I feel some tickling on my back. Like, it's not on my back directly, but it's on a what's this thing called, guys? That thing. It was tickling, but it wasn't like making me like fall to the ground or nothing, bro. Okay? And so I turn around, and here is like a 5'2" beautiful Dominican girl, dude. Beautiful. And she goes like, so why didn't you reply to my message? Because you know how Facebook sometimes you can tell if you read the message, and I didn't know if they can read. That was around the time where they just put the update out. Like, I got slayed so much on that, bro. And I was about to hit this kid, man. It was this one annoying kid that always ride the bus. There was nothing wrong with him. He just runs his mouth too much. He is right behind me, bro. He starts trying to hot block, bro, and I'm just like trying to get his attention out the way, and I'm just like, man, like, you know, I'm making him signals, and then when I keep walking, he goes like, yo, Kimani, don't you got a girlfriend? And bro, like, I was about to, oh my gosh, you don't even understand. But mind you, she ignored that shit, bro. She didn't even say anything, okay? We continue to walk. She knowingly knows that I had a girl, and she didn't even give a shit, okay? So like, we're gonna scratch that dude from behind because I was about to lose it. And bro, I smacked him like he had a fresh ass cut. Like the next week, bro, I hit him in the back of the neck for that shit, bro, and that shit was red, son. That shit.
Sir, he was like, no, I told you not to eat more than half, bro. Have you ever had magic before? I'm like, no.
Now, I remember my first brownie, you know what I'm saying, was a half day back in like 11th grade, you know, when you have half days in this. You know what I'm saying? And I just remember, bro, just edibles just hit different. But nowadays, bro, edibles don't even work. I don't even eat edibles anymore, bro. You know what I'm saying? When you come so tolerant to tree, bro, it just doesn't work, you know? So, yeah.
FTC, Flight Team, stand up! Hey, I should've got that tatted instead, low-key. But nah, man, all jokes aside, so many of y'all were so anxious to see what my first tat was looking like ever since y'all seen it peeping out of the shirt. And I think it was like a Mystic Got Jokes prank I reacted to on my other channel, FlightReacts. Okay, and so like basically, I had to get this done in 2 sessions, alright? I was so upset, man. Like the first day I took in all that pain. I'm not even gonna lie to you, this shit hurt like a fucking bitch, bro. But I didn't tell him not one bit. I'm mad. Bro, I didn't even gonna lie, bro. The tattoo artist even said it himself, bro. Like, I took it like a grown ass man would. Like, all this shit right here hurt. But man, basically what this entire piece means, if you cannot see, only the strong survive. It was a famous quotation from my favorite basketball player of all time / favorite idol, Allen Iverson. Basically, anything I went through in the past, bullshit, dramatic wise, crazy events that I was able to push through, that I feel like the average person would probably give up on in certain situations. Like, it reminds me pretty much to just keep going, and it has got these designs in the clouds. The clouds honestly took the longest out of that. The wording was like about, what, a couple of hours? Not even, it was like less than that. But all in all, I had to get this done in 2 sessions. Expensive as heck. I do not recommend getting a tattoo when you're younger than 15, bro, to be 100% honest. Maybe even 16, bro, because like, honestly, I was about to get something like this done in a house, bro, and I thought this shit was bad in a tattoo. Imagine if it was in a house, bro. I witnessed a personal homeboy of mine, my senior year, glow up with the molded Laffy Taffy looking shit on his skin, bro. A keloid, bro. Those are them shits you want to avoid. The reason why in the house tats, bro, because you can get keloids, you can get certain diseases that you probably, the tat artist doesn't even know about, and you may pick out a certain design of a tattoo that you get when you're younger that you may want to change your mind when you're older. So I think it's just better for me. I'm 20 years old right now. Yeah, I'm 20. People are really surprised, like saying, damn, bro, like how old you? Like you got it so late, man. That's exactly why. Like I wanted to really think about it, and it's just something that I always wanted ever since I was that young. And I'm kind of glad that I waited, invested the money. I was just praying that they didn't ask this one thing, like in the back of my mind. I was just thinking of all the certain, because I knew how to do a job interview. I had experience before. That was no problem, was like answering the questions. My biggest concern was the whatever letter words that is, the drug test or drug screening. That's what was really going in my mind. And right when it got to the end, she goes like, you have to experience a little drug screening. You have to schedule yourself the 1 week after. Hello. And if I pass it, I get the job. Gets to the drug screening in the morning. I just told my mom I had to go in and step into work early. It wasn't that hard to like lie and get away. I just didn't want my mama, I didn't want her to find out I had to take a drug test, because I knew one thing, she was gonna remind me. I seen my mom's full face flash in front of me. I just knew she was gonna remind me. So I was like, man, I'm just gonna take it upon myself. Now, mind you, I want you guys to remember the time frame in this. I had the interview the week before. I scheduled a drug test at the very end of that week time frame I had. So I had about 5-6 days tops, if you want to count the nights, okay, to get this weed out my system. The biggest thing I looked at is they said exercise at least 30 minutes a day and drink at least over 5 bottles of water a day. I drank 8. And then they also said when you take the piss test, that you give them your midstream. This is all the shit and information I had. I was doing my research. I thought I had it in the bag. I went there and she told me the directions. It was a little pretty lady. I wasn't focused on her though. Believe it, please. She asked me to write down all this information. Biggest thing I couldn't do was flush, so I didn't have to take a dump or nothing. I just couldn't flush. So if I had any weird stuff, so what I did is I pissed in the toilet a little bit first, okay? And then I pissed my midstream, put it in a cup. This is my midstream in a cup. And right before I feel like it's about to end, I just I pissed the rest in the toilet. So that was the strategy I was using from the internet. I'm thinking I'm all good and gravy, you feel me? So the nurse ends up taking my piss and tells me that wait about a week or so for the results. So there's more waiting in this process. And I'm thinking, I'm praying, I'm trying to think, maybe what if there's a possible reason, like how are they gonna do the results? Because I never took a drug test before. It was just like a 50-50 because I already knew the consequences what I was doing. I mean, I knew what comes from it, okay? So I wasn't gonna act stupid, and I'm just waiting. I thought like if whatever happens, they just don't even tell you. And I'm thinking I'm clueless. I'm thinking I'm just whatever, okay? I'm on my way home after filming a cutscene for the 2, and I just remember just that feeling. I always get some feeling like when something bad is about to happen, like I told y'all in past stories. The guy, the owner, basically called, and he just says, "You're just like the rest of them, Mr. White." And I'm just like, "What you mean?" And he just says, "You heard what I said." Hung up the phone right on me.
But basically, if you guys aren't sleeping on a rock, and by this point it's probably all over the internet, the kid got robbed. I had got robbed of $10,000. Now, before I go ahead and explain the whole full story, I actually want to make a public apology right quick to Pretty Boy Fredo. Now, the person who did take place and, getting me robbed was my barber, and I had to mention Fredo's name when I was on live stream ranting about, the quick short story about how I got robbed. And I had mentioned Fredo's name. It was a dumb decision. I shouldn't have done that. The only reason I did so, and I even said it twice in the live stream, Fredo has nothing to do with this. I only said his name so people would relate quicker and be like, oh, that's the barber you're talking about. Because I had a lot of people being like, okay, who are you talking about? Which barber? Boom, boom. That's the only reason. So I don't want you guys to attack his social media. He has nothing to do with it. I was supposed to cop a new whip and treat myself probably around the summer, but I ended up having to put my priorities first. I had fans, they found out where I lived, they kept knocking on my door every single day, and my own life was in jeopardy. So I had to use that money, invest it, and put it to where I needed to move into a new place. And then, months later, where, recuperate and everything, then I find the right time when the time is right. Now, my barber knew I was looking for a new car. I didn't tell him every single day on some thirsty stuff. I just told him probably one good time. I was like, hey man, because he is really connected. Barbers are typically connected with a lot of people. They cut people's hair. They meet all types of people that work in different jobs. So I asked them, if you come across anybody that works in the car business, please let me know, because I'm looking for a new whip and I'm looking for a luxury type of car. Now, it was a particular day. I went in, typical appointment for a haircut, you know, and we ended up actually getting some food prior to then, you know what I'm saying? He took me, you know, we both got a little food, and then we went, you know what I'm saying, back to the barbershop. Now, his friend pulls up, you know what I'm saying, in a 2016 Mercedes, you know, and he's sitting up there right off bat saying, oh, this is my friend, you know, he's 100% legit. He has, you know, a car business ship, and he's just really good with everything, and he's a big fan of your videos, and he respects your work. He always is talking about you, you know. And so, like, right off the bat, you know, we get out the car and I look at it and I'm feeling it, you know what I'm saying? It was an all white, you know, I'm gonna say it's 2016, no flaws to it, 20,000 miles a day, 18,000 to be exact. I asked him to test drive it, went to test drive the car. There was nothing wrong. Now, still, I didn't really know his friend personally like that, so I didn't want to be so quick, you know what I'm saying, to just jump to everything. And I actually had to be in a different state the very next day. So I ended up saying, listen, bro, I don't come back until Tuesday. Let me go ahead and give you $2,000-$3,000 right now. And so, because I wanted to put, like he said, I had to put a deposit on the car because, you know, somebody can sell, you know, anything if you don't be like, listen, I want this, and I give you something. And that's what the situation was. So I ended up giving him about, I think it was $3,000, and I ended up PayPaling that to him, and it was just boom, you know. Fast forwarding on Tuesday came around, you know, car's there. Now, one sketchy thing that I felt like I should have caught on to myself is the first thing I did ask this dude before I got the car is, you got the title, you got the keys and everything. Yeah, he said he had the keys, he even had the backup key. But he said he doesn't have the title. He said that the title needed to be shipped into my own address. And, you know, I was just like, okay, maybe, you know, he has to get some type of paperwork from whatever. And so I allowed him to, you know, get away with that part. Like, usually anybody, and I'm telling this story for people so they can learn off of my mistakes. Don't ever buy a car without having a title in hand. Not having a title in the hand is pretty much like not having the keys, you know what I'm saying, to the car. It's useless without the title, you know. And so I always kept repetitively asking him, like, where's the title? And he came up with the same excuse. Now, fast forwarding on Tuesday, you know what I'm saying, I already put the deposit down for the whip. You know, I go ahead and cop it right off the lot. I already was vlogging a little bit. I showed it off. It wasn't no crazy car reveal stuff because I'm not that type of person to do it. I don't want to be, you know, hot about that. I don't want people to know every single thing. But it was something like, if you guys paid attention to the vlog, you know what I'm talking about. So, you know, days start to go along, no problem. One thing I also did forget to mention, the same night is where I should have really caught on to, you know, something's a little sketchy about this dude. I forgot to tell you guys this right quick. Now, the first night, if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know, I took a couple of Insta snaps of me and my whip playing music, da-da-da. And I ended up actually getting pulled over at about 1 o'clock. I was leaving the gas station, and the cop, the first thing I asked him, what are you pulling me over for? He said that the way my tires stopped on the white line, I came to a full stop at the stop sign, but my tires are on the white line, so he pulled me over for that. Now, I can tell that he really honestly profiled me, and he just wanted to pull me over to mess with me. It's the typical cops that just do what they do. So, you know, it was cool. Now, one thing that my barber's friend did actually have was the bill of sale, you know, the proof of the sale that I bought the car, and he had, you know what I'm saying, his name, his supposed company name, which I think was, you know, up to this point is fake. And he had a couple of other key information things. Now, the first thing the cop asks when they pull you over is your license, car registration, insurance, and all that. I told the cop, you know, nice and smooth and everything. I was like, listen, I just copped this car today. I got the bill of sale. I got my ID, my driver's license, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to the DMV tomorrow to put the car under my name. So, you know, right off the bat, he understood. You know, he was just like, oh, okay, you copped the car, boom. Now, one interesting thing the cop said when he came back, because he only took like 5 minutes to process my driver's license. He let me go off, nothing, no citation, fines, none of that stuff. The cop stated, he was like, sir, is this car rented? And I was just like, no, I just bought this car like literally 2 hours ago. And when he said that, I thought he was just trying to be an asshole and just be like, oh, you're not good enough to drive a car like this. But with him saying that, I should have really right off bat just been like, hold up, why would a car come up rented out of anything? You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes a car can come up as like a tag expired, but he said it came up rented. So I'm sitting up here like, you know, I even let that go still because nothing happened to me. I didn't get no type of fine. He let me go off. Fast forwarding, weeks going along. Now I had a barber appointment the same exact day. I go back downstairs and I'm trying to realize something. My car is nowhere to be found in the lot. My car is nowhere to be found on the lot, like it's missing. Literally missing. And so I walked around my apartment complex once again just to make sure, okay, you know, maybe I'm having some forgetful, you know, moment. Maybe I parked it somewhere else. No, I knew I parked where I parked my car. At this towing place, they come and they literally take my whip, like you see it on camera, taking my whip. Okay, they didn't leave no warning, no note, none of that stuff. Like how a towing place is supposed to leave. That, you know, unfortunately, my barber did tell me prior. Cause I asked him like, where does this dude work? Like, how is he getting his money like this? And he said that he works in like some towing company, you know. So I feel like he probably had something to do with my stuff getting, you know what I'm saying. So he probably was the one driving it because, like I said, he came within 30-40 minutes of when I got back home. All right. Now, you know, I confront my barber and I asked him, bro, like, if I don't have my money, like, bro, like, you robbed me, like, you literally took part in robbing me. And so, you know, days come along. I was supposed to get my whip back today. The dude that sold me the car said he's gonna get it towed back to me, and he's just gonna meet up at a spot. And he just was Instagram DMing me the entire time. He stopped texting me. He changed his number 3 times this entire month. He stopped texting me on the phone. He said, just text through IG DMs right now. You know what I'm saying? It's because I had the Wi-Fi or some stuff like that. He said it's better to text. Okay? So he said he's about 30 minutes away from giving me the whip, and he ends up just not even showing up. He blocks me. I went ahead and went on Live Rays the other day and just told my story about what had happened, you know. And there you go, you guys. That's how your man Flight got robbed.
Anything I would find cool. You know, unfortunately I do it because I learn from now. I'm not the same person as it was before. But anyway, there'll be like basketball players coming from that school that they were just flat out good at ball and all. These boys would be grown ass men tatted up, bruh, and it's just like they was at the same time like we can just call them ghetto. You know, I'm trying to refrain from that word, man. That's it. You know, sometimes getting outplayed. But yeah, so like yeah, they would bring all that like junk from the hood stuff like over there at the summer camp, and these kids like they'd be like 10, 11, 12, 13, and counselors really wouldn't care because like they would even like interfere and act with them and whatever. So like we was playing ball. It all started off as a 2v2 like I was talking about, and then like these guys for high school, I always got respect for them. This is why I kind of miss that summer camp, bro, because I had the most realest friends that ever went there. I kid you not. And I seen this big behind black truck, like the rims wasn't, you know, 100% A1, but you know they was a little clean. And there was like I think 4 or 5 people in the car. Like there was no way there was room in that car, dog. It had to be a normal seat. Maybe there may have been more people. It was like all crammed up in there, and like the truck. It came like where we're playing basketball. This is the reason why I'm able to face, because I was facing this way. I wasn't facing the opposite way where it's just, you know, a dead end. It was just a straight road. And it's truck, and the way the houses are built, you know, it's right on the same street. It was ungated, obviously. So he starts rolling up slow at first. This man, it's like a 30-40 mile per hour area. He's legit going like 4 miles per hour just cruising. And I'm looking and I'm getting somebody's attention. I'm just like, yo, this man acting suspect right now. They don't think, man. They just react. They take action and then they think later. I don't know what type of knife it was. He takes his junk out. And then at this point, obviously the boy, he's surrendered and he's with this girl, and this girl's trying to hold him back. This man like elbowed, like not shoved the girl hard, but you know, some men obviously are gonna be more strong than a woman. That's just facts. I'm not trying to, you know, get into that argument debate. So like he kind of elbows her out the way, and she kind of stumbles enough for him to get like a good like range, it's like stab range, I guess you want to call it. And he hits this man about 2 or 3 times. Like it was so quick. And I was just like, no, this can't be happening, bro. Like I just thought it was a regular fight, because I've done seen fights since damn like 2nd grade, and I've, you know, seen how they were breaking up and stuff. So I was kind of, you know, used to it. But that was my first time ever seeing somebody like physically like bring out a weapon and take it to that extreme. We was having that a lot going on around in that area, but like I said, we was in a summer camp, and obviously I didn't live over there. We was just there during the day. That stuff happened at night, but this man brought it out in broad daylight. This is like 4:30, 4:40, almost 5 o'clock by now, maybe 1986. Like I said, I don't remember the exact time. They actually had all of us come back inside. Like this lady, I forget her. No, it's Miss Tamara. She had a little siren horn, and she blew that thing so loud. Like I thought it was like one of them thunder things that you hear off them little stools. She blew that thing so loud, bro. I could see the scariness in her face, bro. So like, honestly, my knowledge was just very IQ for girl level. I should have just said that was just at an all-time low. I had a couple of boys. Basically, MJ, man, I told literally anything like I had a problem about a girl, and there was just this one fucking girl. I think I had her about 4th or 5th hour. It was in the gym class. I'm gonna give you just a background of what she looked like. You know that first episode or first movie of Honey? It's like that dancing movie with the girl, like she tries to get into the music videos and all that shit, bro. Look exactly like that, but she's like mixed with like 4 or 5 different races, bro. She's mainly black, bro. I think she's mixed with some type of Hispanic, some Chinese, bro. I'm talking about she was just beautiful as a moon. I just did not know how to act, bro, and I literally would talk about her, and I'm not like, this is just so fucking corny. Like, I hate doing stories like this, bro, because it's like the wrong time I feel like for me to be doing some shit like this, bro, with the fucking L's I'm taking. Some nigga fucking, I think he commented something on Twitter or Instagram talking about I'm a walking L. But hey, man, you lose some, you're gonna lose some more, and you may lose some more, and then you're just gonna pick yourself back up and take the W's, man. So I'm on a rap today. I'm running to the motherfucking dubs. Alright, man, so basically, man, like, I would literally talk about to MJ every single day about this fucking girl, bro. We're gonna call her Glorietta. But here's the thing about Glorietta. She was a senior. Yes, a senior, my nigga, okay? And I was a freshman, dog. I honestly had no type of clue. I just did not, I don't know what was brought upon me. I was very short at the fucking time, bro. Like, I'm 6'3" right now. I was about 5 feet, 5'2" on a good fucking day. I'm trying to remember what type of shit I was wearing. I was on, you know, Air Forces, you know. I think I was still rocking I had the polo and shit, bro. Like, basically just light fits, you know, white tee, all that shit, bro. Nothing too special. But I'm a freshman at the end of the day. Like, I'm the lowest fucking at the food chain. It was this one day in lunch. I don't remember what exact month it was. It had to be at least a little bit later in the school year, son, because like I just don't know if she even noticed me up until that point. But there was just like this upstairs right after, like, if you like leave lunch, it's like the first building. Basically in that building they had a bakery / cooking teacher, Mrs. E, bro. She was just the best like cooking instructor ever. She like had sold cookies and all that shit, snacks after lunch, okay? So I would always go there literally to bust out. I think it was like 25 cents each cookie. Them shits was nice and huge. Boom! Just fucking warm, delicious. They had chocolate chips, snickerdoodle, bitch. I used to get them 2 combinations up in the bag, bitch. I'll have everybody trying to motherfucking get a piece, nigga, bitch. Back off, skirt, get out my face, bro. Okay, so like I would go there every time after lunch. There was this one dude, man, we could call him Double D. My man Double D played on the basketball team and all that shit. I think he was on the football team as well. He just knew everything about, you know, he gets the females. He gets pretty much a 4-on-1 on what, you know, who's digging who. Okay, it's high school, it's the Gossip Central. Okay, so it was literally, I had 3 or 4 minutes to get to class today, so I didn't honestly have that much time to talk. And he just like pulled my shirt one day. He was going this way, I was going, you know, opposite direction, like diagonal, like, you know how you going on the road crisscross and shit. That's a good example. I just need to find some fucking way to explain some shit better, you know, vocab wise, so I can strengthen my context, you know what I'm saying? But basically, man, he was like, Key, slow down. Okay, I'm just like, man, nah, I gotta go. Now, what he wanted to tell me, he was trying to literally hook me up with the girl that I was crushing on, Glorietta, my nigga. I didn't know that she was right there. She literally just left out those double doors when he grabbed my shirt and I was trying to avoid. Basically, what he was trying to tell me, she was always talking about, like, she seen me on the low, but like she just never came up and said anything about me, because remember, like, she had the same gym class and all that shit, bro. Okay, so like she was like,
oh yes, that boy right there, he's gonna be so fine when he gets all this.
I did not expect for her to even say some shit. That's what she said, okay, to Double D. That's what he was trying to get, you know, to get me to understand. So I didn't believe this nigga. So honestly, I was just like, yeah, okay. So like, I didn't try to get too gassed up. I got my cookies that day. Came up point to school the next day. Literally go inside the same box. I told you I love to bust down them cookies, bro. And the shit's addicting as fuck. Okay, so like I ran into Double D once again, and this time Glorietta was right there. Literally, I just was shocked. I was stutter shocked. I didn't know what to fucking do. Okay, so he was like, hey, Glorietta, like, cause she wasn't running away, but she was going away from the scene like she was doing a class. he shouted out, Gloria, didn't you say Kimani gonna be so fine when you get older? She was just like, yes, and just walked through. I was just like, mind blown. So I'm not even gonna lie to you, I was so salty when that shit happened. When I went back to school the next day, I just did not know how to act. I tried to not make it seem like a big deal and try to forget about it, but either or, man, like I just eventually moved on. So it was about 2 or 3 days later. Remember the dude I was always talking about to females about with, bro, MJ. Now back then, I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I was always running my mouth, like always like was quick to just like talk shit and all that junk, bro. Like I just had a little mouth, bro. I don't know what set MJ off that day, bro, but just basically I was set up to get black. I don't know, you guys let me know how it was, just if this was a blackmail or if I deserved this shit. So basically the conversation, like we was roasting pretty much each other, okay, throughout that gym, and I just pretty much said, okay, that's why you ain't getting no type of hoes at all since we've been at this school. That's literally what I said to end off like the entire roast battle. And then like there was people around us and it was just like, oh, yo, take that. MJ stood up because he's like fucking, like at that time he was about 9-10 inches. His ass stands up, he goes like,
Oh, you want to play that game? Just know I know your crush.
what you mean you know my crush? Like literally, like I froze. I'm just like, bro, this motherfucker's really not about to do this because I know what the fuck he is exactly talking about. I know who is he referring to, but I'm just like, is he gonna really take it back to that elementary school shit, my nigga? I'm just like, nah, he ain't gonna do that shit. And so like I'm looking at him just like, you know, with that look, you're just like daring them to do that, like you wish the nigga would type shit, but just like you think, you know, they're not gonna do that shit, bro. I slowly see him creep away. Okay, so like I stay there in my zone. I'm just like, bro, like I'm stuck. I'm not about to just rush over there because like at this point, like, you know, you're in high school. That's one thing you just don't want to do, everybody. If somebody's gonna tell who you like, just let them do that shit because it's either a yes or no. You know, you can eat, there's more fish in the sea. That's the best thing I can give. This is what the fucking shit gets even more fucking crazy, okay? He fucking basically tells all this stuff. It wasn't like anything bad. It was just all positive shit, like, because I was just basically in love with the girl. Like, literally talking, imagine her face is right here. I'm literally just speaking a whole bunch of fucking gibberish. I'm talking about, like, I think you're so pretty. I'm not even looking at her the whole fucking time. I'm looking at the little gym, brick wall. I'm paying more attention to than the girl. So this entire time, they're not the entire gym class wasn't exactly looking, but there was a good portion at this point, okay? So I'm basically getting laughed at around her friends. I'm looking at the one, I'm not even looking at her. And then basically when I'm done talking, bro, I start fucking sweating and I make 5 seconds of eye contact. I go like this. Okay, and then I go like, so, you know, what's up? That's literally the last word I said out of my mouth. And she goes like,
Well, nigga, if you wasn't so shy, I'd give you a chance.
and that's it. I just had to be a little bit more confident. Ever since that moment happened, it made me snap. You often have to learn from different experiences in life in order to just like get better. And that was a situation, like I'm kind of happy that happened because ever since then now, if a girl's out of my league, I don't give a fuck. I'll go up to her. If I get rejected, hey, so be it, but I'll go and move on with my fucking life.
I ain't never been in this house before. Like, this is my first. I go by Flight. You call me FTC. Like,
I'm a grown man and you want me to call you FTC.